this rally is way beyond the rumor. I think the rally today is about a flight to quality with all the, all the issues around the Israeli war now, global terrorism. And I think there's more people running into a flight to quality, whether that is in treasuries, gold, or crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality. This rally.
Larry Fink, CEO of none other than BlackRock, thinking that crypto is going to be the asset or is going to play a role when a flight to quality is going to happen on the market. This is quite an announcement, in my opinion, and it comes a bit as a reaction to what we saw yesterday when the fake news actually spread by a website called Cointelegraph came out saying that the spot Bitcoin ETF by iShares, which belongs to BlackRock, is going to be approved or is being approved. And yeah, what we saw on the market was a super spike to almost $30,000 here on the tops. I shared it yesterday also on the Telegram channel from our crypto futures trading platform, the 1 minute chart, how crazy the volume spiked there suddenly. But as fast as we came up, we came down again, because turns out this was, as Donald Trump would say, a fake news. So somebody, as it seems, hacked into the Slack of Cointelegraph, at least from my understanding, and I've been reading through this piece here for a little bit, posted this on Twitter, or X as it called yet, and the rest is history, and a good example of how fast markets, especially the cryptocurrency markets, can still be manipulated. Good morning, everybody. Happy to see. I see some of the early traders here again. See Catch, see Kerry. How are you guys doing? Good to see you again here. I hope you have your coffee ready, because today we want to, of course, do an in-depth dive into, what's up on the horizon for Bitcoin. I think we also saw some interesting developments, especially in US dollar currency pairs and on the stock markets. We're going to talk about this too, but of course, primarily on about what happened there with Bitcoin and what does it take now really to break out over 28,500 US dollars? How would I go about and trade this? I think these are the important questions, probably that linger on your mind. Cappuccino. I hope you grabbed one too. All right, let's jump into the action again. I'm going to make my screen a little bit bigger, like this. You can see me. Good. I think probably everybody yesterday saw this, and it looks obviously more impressive the lower we go on the time frames. So this was the hourly spikes. If you go really down here, let's say to the 50-minute time frame, things got really, really, really crazy. I want to leave it at the daily time frame, because whatever happened there intraday, it didn't really matter. And this is a little bit of a surprise to me. I thought yesterday, when it turned out that actually this news on the iShares Bitcoin spot ETF being approved by the SEC turned out to be fake news, I would have thought that we immediately go down again underneath this, at least the 200 days moving average, which is here the solid red line that also runs parallel at the moment, which is at 28,000. And now I said also the last couple of days, actually I think I said this the last 2 to 3 weeks already, this zone here between the 100-day moving average, but let's take the 200-day moving average here. So 28,000 or 27,500 and 28,500 is like a major resistance. Over and over again, we've tried actually since we dropped down there in mid of August, when we saw that slump, this one day dropping from 28.5 to almost 25,000 US dollars. We over and over tried again to overcome, especially this 200 days moving average. By the way, this is always something, those moving averages, the 100 days, the 200-day moving average, I like to refer to as so-called flexible zones of support or resistance, because they change as the price changes, contrary to the typical horizontal support and resistance levels, which are always there no matter what the price is doing. And yeah, I said it a couple of times over and over again. Very hard to overcome this zone. To my surprise, today we are actually lingering around right now at this level of 28,500 US dollars. So maybe we are actually going to see some price action over it again. We are almost on the point now here. I wouldn't be surprised if we, during the stream, if we go above that, see a little bit of a spike to the north again. However, trading-wise, two things are important here, in my opinion. What you normally should wait for when you see something like this is not jump on board immediately when the price breaks out. I really hope that nobody of you guys bought into this giant pattern here yesterday with the spike to the top. I really, really hope you guys didn't do that. I also addressed this yesterday on Telegram, said don't FOMO into the market, really wait until you see a confirmation. Because what normally should happen now is that we see something like this. Once the market closes over 28,500 US dollars, and this is important, we need to see a close over 28,500 US dollars in order to turn this level of resistance, the 28,500 US dollars, into a level of support. And then normally you would see something like this, like closing above that, up day, down day, up day again, and then coming back maybe on the third or fourth day to retest this level of 28,500 US dollars. And this is, if everything goes to the plan, then the time where the markets probably really take off. So the trade here, if you are considering a long trade, but it's a long swing trade, has nothing to do, of course, with my long-term view now on Bitcoin, which is very positive. We're talking about short-term swing trades that you, for example, want to execute here on the crypto futures trading platform. So if you're, for example, here trading the crypto futures on our brand new platform, which should be your preferred, sorry, that's not the crypto futures I wanted to show, I need to scroll down a little bit, which should be your preferred method really of trading cryptos, because it's very, very cheap. Yeah, if you work with limit orders here, you'll pay 0.01%. The financing is like on a whole another level, at least when it comes to order execution here. So it's very, very cheap, high liquidity. This is your weapon of choice, your instrument of choice. And so you would want to wait until the market break out. It's very unlikely that we immediately go all the way to 30 or even our next resistance at 31,000 US dollars. You normally see the markets coming back. You want to be here then with a limit buy order, which you can already enter once you see that closing price over 28,500 US dollars. Why? Because you have a very nice risk reward ratio, because you can do something like this then. You could, for example, enter here a long position. You could say like, okay, I'm going to put my stop loss here under the 200 days moving average, slightly under the 200 days moving average. And my target is for sure going to be at least 30,000. So like this, which would mean then that you are risking, in this case, let's work with a little bit lower account size, risk doesn't really matter, which would mean you enter at 28,500 US dollars. You have your stop loss at 27,800, something around there, a target of 30. You have a risk reward ratio of 1 to 2.25. Which puts you then again in the beautiful situation, in the beautiful position that you only need to be correct in actually, in this case, less than 30% with your trades in order to not lose money. These are the setups you want to wait for. Yeah, it could, of course, be that you get stopped out here when Bitcoin is returning into this area. Okay, still a good trade, though. Yes, it could also be that the market goes all the way straight up to 31,000 US dollar immediately. That's in the realm of possibilities. If that happens, good, because we have built up our long-term long position in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies already. So we couldn't ask for more. But you want to wait for patterns like this to emerge, really, to look for those levels of confluence. Levels of confluence are where you have many resistance support areas that are batched together, like here. This is why this is a major resistance. No, we have this horizontal resistance at 28,500 US dollars. We have the moving average at 28,000 US dollars. We have the 100 days moving average at 27,800. This is a zone of confluence. A lot of resistance areas, now of course support areas, if we break out to the north, that are stacked upon each other. The more that are stacked, the higher the chances are, by the way, that we are going to that the price is not immediately going through that. That's what I'm. By the way, if you, for example, also draw here Fibonacci zones in here from our all-time high to the latest low of the bear market, you'll see that you have another area of confluence. The I think it's the 23%. Yeah, the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement at the moment here at also around about 28,000 US dollars. So this is why I was saying extremely hard to overcome. If we overcome this, I want to see the closing above. I want to see the price move a little bit higher already, maybe to 29,500, then come back, and then I want to sit here with a limit order. Of course, I'm going to update you should this happen also on the Academy Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description of this live stream. All right, long talk about Bitcoin here this morning already, but quite exciting times. I see Barham has also joined. Christine has joined. Guten Morgen, Christine, from Germany, I suppose. Pleasure to see you here. Let's have a quick look also at some other assets. By the way, in terms of, let's have a look actually at the economic calendar first. Not so much going on here today in terms of, or this week actually, in terms of important economic data, in my opinion. Yeah, okay, we're going to see the UK inflation rate tomorrow. That's a pretty important one. For me, the important event here on November 19th, so that's Thursday evening at 6 p.m. CET, so that's 4 p.m. UTC, I think. We're going to see Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve Bank in America, giving a speech. Market is for sure going to eye that, because as it seems right now, still, the majority of people, what is with my keyboard here this morning? Here we go. This one I wanted to have. The majority of people want to have, are still thinking here, this is the one I'm looking for, that we are not going to see an interest rate hike anymore. Number has not changed. Over 90%, 90.1% of market participants thinking we are not going to see a rate hike on November 1st anymore. Let's see, still some time until now. So it's going to be interesting, of course, what Jerome Powell has to say. Let's have a quick look here also at the S&P 500. And this is also interesting because yesterday I actually wrote here, guys, this is exactly the pattern that I was talking about for Bitcoin. We broke over this area of resistance at 4,300, went in this case to this long-lasting trend line. I'm going to zoom out here to show you. Then we went back, tested the support again, and went off it. It's very simple, actually. You can see with these patterns of support and resistance, if you just look at those, if you see like the breakout out of an area of resistance or support, then you see the price going back. These are very, very good trades normally. No, you're not going to win all of them. You're maybe going to win like 50% of them, maybe even just 45% of them. But if you see the chance to place a stop loss, that is only half of what, for example, your take profit is. The stats, the math is going to work for you long term. So absolutely nailed this one. And by the way, we saw almost the exact pattern here on euro dollar. This, of course, is now also a support again, has been changing back and forth. You can see here also breakout over the resistance, market pulling back, and then we should actually, if our stars align, go maybe all the way up here to 106, 107, 106.50, something like this. Also just easy to play by support and resistance. Now, this is probably going to change, of course, during the week now, highly dependent, of course, on what Jerome Paul has to say there on Thursday evening. Sip of coffee. Last but not least, let's have a quick look here at, where is it, gold. We also talked about this last week. We talked about this the last live stream. A trade I didn't do because you guys know I don't like to trade gold. But when we saw this pattern, when the market was stalling, but I said eventually gold will probably pull back to its 200 days moving average, which happened now. And then you can see, this is why I always call those 100 days, 200 days moving averages flexible zones of support and resistance. Market was reflecting there. We don't know yet what the market is going to do, if we trend higher there. Should we trend higher in gold, my zone here for selling would be around 2,000. So anything north of 2,000 US dollars is not something I would like to long anymore in gold. I rather would then concentrate on other assets there. Last but not least, treasuries. We still see the bond market tanking quite heavily. You can see here how prices have come down further here for the 10 years US treasuries. Right now you get around 4.75% in return on investment. That is yearly investment. If you buy a long-term 10 years US Treasury note. So that's a Treasury note, a bond with the highest rating actually you can have. I think it's AAA for the USA, it should be. And yeah, this is what you would get. And of course, what is happening here now in the background, if you're an institutional investors, you maybe are a money manager for a pension fund, or where you have to be a little bit more conservative with many of your assets. You cannot just throw everything at crypto and stocks. You have a choice here now, and it's a hard choice. Do I take the 4.75% that are secure as a return on investment, or do I want the unsecure possible 8% on average return on investment from the stock markets? The higher this should go, the more money is going to flow into bonds for sure. And the stronger, by the way, the US dollar is going to get. So we would see, for example, euro dollar going down again. Have an eye this week also, please, on cable. So cable is British pound against US dollar. As I said, if you're trading this, you want to very closely monitor here. Was it tomorrow? Where did we have the... here we go. Yeah, tomorrow. So tomorrow, very early already at 8 a.m. CET, so that's 6 a.m. UTC, inflation rate for Great Britain. We're for sure going to see quite a lot of volatility, especially if this number is very different from what we've seen. UK still lagging behind a little bit when it comes to inflation, behind Europe, especially also behind the USA. So if you are trading, for example, cable, so British pound against US dollar, also British pound against other currencies out there, you really want to be careful. Maybe you consider closing your trades or working here with a tight stop loss. You don't want to be surprised with a move to the wrong side, and with a move to the wrong side when the numbers come out unexpectedly worse or better then. All right, that's really it also from my side. So the exciting thing for sure today is to view Bitcoin. Should we see some major developments there, especially tonight, should we close above 28,500 US dollars, I'm going to write a little bit more also on the Academy Telegram channel. So if you're not yet there, please join them. Other than that, Friday I'm going to release a new video on where I want to talk more about how to build a trading strategy with using these areas of support and resistance. I think it's, especially if you're new to trading, really something you can do while still working a job, 40 hours or more a week. It's an easy trading strategy and a very profitable one. So more on that there. By the way, like, one thing I also wanted to show you still is my own trading system, my Sniper SSG system. Also went a bit crazy. Also yesterday started, this is hourly charts here, around 27,800, started printing those sell signals. The last one it printed here, 28,500 US dollars. So that one thinks we probably are going down at the moment. However, I really want to wait here where we close. I think if we do not close above 28,500 today, tendency is going to be that we are see lower prices again. And if we really see lower prices, then it might also be that for the final time, this zone down here, 23,700 to 25,000 US dollars is coming into play, because the market is going to be disappointed then. I hope this is not going to happen, but it's a possibility. Time will tell. Going to update you on Telegram. Yeah, that's it for today, guys. Have a good one, and see you again latest on Friday. Thanks for joining. It was a pleasure, as always, having you here live.